all season long, right here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Line drive, third base, Rachel Crane makes the catch. Base clearing double for Bryn McManus. The Flames lead 7-3.
Swung high fly ball, hit deep to left. That ball is out of here, and that's a walk-off winner.
This is Liberty University Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. You're locked into the Flames on Deck Circle, powered by Segra. Stay tuned for an in-depth look at today's game, including our pregame chat with Lady Flames head coach Dot Richardson. Liberty Softball is brought to you by Segra, a proud partner of Liberty University. Segra offers customized business technology solutions. Learn more at segra.com. By Carter Bank, life lived full. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom First Credit Union, start banking for good with Freedom First today. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. And by Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices, nobody. Time now for the Flames on Deck Circle, powered by Segra. Now we take you to the ballpark for exclusive pregame coverage of Liberty Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Hello, everyone, and welcome out to Bowling Green, Kentucky. A nice overcast day, but no rain. Looks like we're going to be good for the rest of the weekend as far as that's concerned. My name is Jamie Hall. Alongside of me is Joe Carmany. The Lady Flames of Liberty will be taking on JAX State today. The Gamecocks, the number 3 seed in this Conference USA tournament. The Lady Flames, the number 1 seed. Liberty got to this point with an 8-0 victory yesterday against La Tech. A little bit, I don't want to say more challenging route here for JSU. They had a pretty easy game in the opening round. They had to play one extra game as the 3 seed. They didn't get the bye that the Flames and WKU got in the first round. And then a contentious game yesterday against the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, that's right. 2-1 yesterday. Really close game. They've had it was 11-0 on Wednesday against Sam Houston, so much closer game. That first day saw 10 home runs. Yesterday saw quite a few home runs between the 3 games, including one in that Jacksonville State game. Kaiser, the catcher, has had a home run in each of the 2 games, so she's riding a hot streak. But yeah, so it was, and then it was good for the Lady Flames to jump out to that 5-0 lead in the first, and then Escobar was Escobar and continued that shutout streak.
It's been a while. You have to go all the way back to March when these 2 teams played during the regular season. As we see in the circle for Liberty Day will be Kaylin Yoder, and she had a pretty interesting weekend when they were playing the Gamecocks.
Correct. She started a game and Bachman had to come in relief, and Yoder I believe had a shutout going, and then Bachman gave a couple runs there toward the end. But her last outing here in Bowling Green was she was in relief of Bachman, had to come in the first inning and struck out 11 Western Kentucky batters, which is the most that any Liberty relief pitcher has ever had in a relief outing. So she had some history here, also some history against Jacksonville State. So it should be a good matchup.
And the Liberty Bats certainly love this ballpark. They put up a bunch of runs in the 2 games. There's only 2 games in that series. The final game was washed out. And then, of course, Liberty put up 8 runs yesterday against a very good La Tech team. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get the thoughts of head coach Dot Richardson as the Lady Flames get set to play in this first game of the day, and they're hoping their only game of the day. You win, you move on to the championship tomorrow. If you lose, you come back later on this evening, late afternoon, and you would play a second game of the day. Oddly enough, though, you win either of those 2 games, and you're in the exact same boat. You're going to be playing a single game tomorrow for the championship. There's no and one if necessary, whether it's your first loss of the tournament or it's your second loss of the tournament. It doesn't matter, because if you make it to Saturday, it's a single game championship. So we'll get those thoughts of Coach Dot Richardson coming up right after this quick timeout here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns. Our products are moving, and our trucks are rolling. We share a passion and a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. More information about Earthright Mid-Atlantic, 434-200-9716 or at erepower.com.
This is Lady Flame Softball from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames Sports Network. The excitement of Lady Flame Softball is on the way. Now the on-deck circle, powered by Segra, rolls on with the pregame thoughts of Liberty head coach Dot Richardson, presented by Earthright Mid-Atlantic.
Well, Coach, it's kind of an interesting part of the bracket right now because you can win either game today and get to tomorrow, and it's single elimination. It's all on the line, one game for the championship. But boy, it would be nice to win the first game and get that extra rest.
Oh yeah, it sure will be. And playing Jacksonville State, it's going to be a nice challenge. They're playing really well, and so are we. So it's going to be an exciting game.
How from a coaching standpoint, how important is it to keep the momentum going? You don't want to have a loss.
Yeah, you want to take all the games, heading into the championship on, tomorrow and Saturday. But the biggest thing is the team coming together, enjoying what they do. So sometimes you can't control the outcome of a game. I mean, most of the time you can't. But all you can do is give it your best. And when you give it your best, great things happen with the talent that we have in this team.
Yesterday was everything you could have wanted, a shutout. You didn't even have to play all 7 innings. Escobar was great in the circle. The defense played well behind her, and the bats were going.
Yeah, it was awesome to see, especially the combination of, the power and the consistency that we saw with a lot of our players. My prediction today, we're going to just have a lot of great at-bats because the kids are really zoomed in. They're focused on what they need to do. And the other big thing is no matter how long it takes, we're just going to keep battling until it's over, right? Until the game is over. But the biggest thing we have in the circle is Yoder is going to be pitching against them, Kaylin Yoder. And the big thing about that is she saw them before, and Baki had to come in some relief. But that was back in March. And right now, Yoder is really skyrocketing forward and throwing the ball well. So let's just hope she's able to, show what she's got. I think she's fired up for this opportunity.
What are some things that stand out from that series with JAX State?
Well, I think the key is they were pretty disciplined, at the plate. So with the rise ball pitcher, if they don't go for it, then you got to bring it down, and you have to be able to do that and not walk. But I think the catcher has a really strong arm. But we've seen him a lot, and we're going to take advantage of what we can. But they do have speed, so we have to be ready. And Jesser's behind the plate, and she's pretty excited about the opportunity if she has to get him out at second.
yesterday's game, probably the biggest smile of the whole day was when Jemiah hit that home run. She was, you could see every single pearly white coming around the bases. She's played well in this role.
She really has, and she's put in a situation where our starting catcher, Savannah Watley, with an injury she had, was out off and on, and Jemiah had to jump in. And I think when she first jumped in to play shortstop, you have to get used to it. You have to put yourself at this top level to be ready, and she's at that point right now. I think she has just been groomed to do what she's doing, and offensively we're able to figure a couple things out, and it was great to see her bust loose, and she's playing with a lot of confidence and a lot of fun right now.
Coach, we wish you the best.
Thank you so much. God bless everybody. Flames Nation, go Flames!
We'll be back with the first pitch, brought to you by Relevant Law, right after this.
Owned and operated by a Liberty alum, Larry's Tire and Auto Repair offers complete auto service, including tires, preventive maintenance, and more. Larry's Tire carries all major brands and is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Larry's Tire has 2 locations in Lynchburg and at Able Tire in Concord. And coming soon, Larry's Tire will expand to a new service center in Forest. More information on Larry's Tire is available at larrystireservice.com.
Your business deserves a bank that values relationships and prioritizes customer service. Since 1979, First Bank and Trust Company has been delivering on these very commitments. Our bankers have been accessible, consultative, and provide a degree of understanding developed through years of commercial experience. First Bank and Trust has the expertise and capital to fund small and large projects up to $32 million. More information on First Bank and Trust and its services is available at firstbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Frank Good Builders is a proud supporter of the Liberty Flames. Frank Good Builders and its partners design and build beautiful custom homes in the Lynchburg and the surrounding areas. From designing a plan to picking out fixtures, Frank Good Builders works with you to design and build your truly custom dream home. Frank Good Builders can be reached at 434-238-3710 or frankgoodbuilders.com.
Looking to buy a home or refinance a mortgage? Now is the time to take advantage of your one-of-a-kind offer from Alcova Mortgage. As an employee or alumni with Liberty University, you are eligible to receive a lender credit that equates to 1% of your total loan amount up to $5,000. This offer provides you with some much-needed savings while also helping you tackle your closing costs. Visit alcova.com/liberty today for details. Offer does not apply to broker loans.
Alcova Mortgage, NMLS ID 40508, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, Equal Housing Lender.
This broadcast of Liberty University Athletics is authorized under rights granted by Liberty University to Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment and is intended solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. The accounts, descriptions, and broadcasts may not be transmitted in any form without the express written consent of Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment and Liberty University Athletics. The announcers are selected by the Liberty Flames Sports Network and approved by Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment. Liberty Lady Flame Softball is on the air. The live play-by-play story of Liberty Lady Flame Softball comes your way now on the Liberty Flame Sports Network from Van Wagner. This game is brought to you by Segra, a proud partner of Liberty University. Segra offers customized business technology solutions. Learn more at segra.com. Carter Bank, life lived full. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom First Credit Union, start banking for good with Freedom First today. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. And by Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices, nobody. Now let's take you out to the ballpark for the call of the game. This is Liberty Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
national anthem as we're getting set for some softball. The sun just poked out. Pretty much been overcast all day here in Bowling Green, but almost exactly as the time the national anthem finished, the sun broke free, and we're expecting some pretty good weather today. It's supposed to warm up into the 70s. It's currently 64 degrees in Bowling Green. Liberty and JAX State about to set to do battle on something I've never seen before, Joe, as we get ready to give you your starting lineups, is right as the anthem was going, the teams were along the baselines. They brought a water hose out and started firing it off. It almost, I thought it was some sort of a tribute that was going on during the anthem, but I think they're just noticing that maybe the infield's a little too dusty, and so they're going to put some water down, which means we probably are going to have a slight delay to the start of the game, but that's okay because that'll give us a chance to get through both teams' lineups. And our lineups are brought to you by Century Exteriors. First for the visiting JAX State Gamecocks, 36-20 on the season. They are the number 3 seed here in this tournament. Flames the number 1 seed, 45-11. Leading things off for JAX State is Emma Elrod. She is a switch hitter. You don't see that very much in baseball or softball anymore. Plays left field, the sophomore hitting .381. Morgan Nowakowski, she bats left and plays center field. .338 hitter on the season, the junior. Designated player is Amber Reed. She's a sophomore, bats left in the 3 spot. Cleanup hitter is playing first base, Kaylee Martin. She's the first of 5 righties in this section of the lineup. She's a freshman. .325 on the season. Then you've got the catcher, Michaelin Kaiser. She's at .329, a junior. Batting 6th is a third baseman, JC Underwood. She's a freshman, .278. Batting 7th is the shortstop, Aria Davis, also a freshman, .230. Batting 8th, Ashley Phillips. She plays second base. The junior's hitting .272. And then a lefty at the bottom of the lineup, Haley Cushingberry. She plays right field and is hitting .316. The Flames will be starting Kaylin Yoder in the circle. 9-4 record, 2.37 ERA. This will be her 21st appearance, her 16th start. She's got 3 complete games, 79 2/3 innings pitched, 77 strikeouts, 59 walks. Opponents are batting .196 against her. Kat Carter, Yoder the lefty, Carter the righty, will start for JAX State. Kaylin is a sophomore, Carter is a senior. 11-7, 2.51 ERA. This will be her 33rd appearance, 22nd start of the year for Carter. 131 1/3 innings pitched. She has 97 strikeouts, 54 walks, and opponents are hitting .233 against her. The Flames will have the same lineup that we've seen for the last couple of weeks, as well, at least the last week, I would say. Going around the infield, Rachel Crane will play third, Jemiah Byram at short. Savannah Woodard plays second, Brooke Roberts at first. Savannah Jesse behind the plate. We mentioned Kaylin Yoder getting the start in the circle. In the outfield, Paige Doran left, KK Madry in center, and Rachel Roop out in right. Flames wearing the gray unis with navy blue numbers, navy blue stirrups, and some blue visors. JAX State, they've got the black tops, the white Gamecocks across the front, pinstripe pants, and black stirrups. Red helmets. First pitch going to be 107, the temperature 64 degrees. Yoder fires it in, and the first pitch is taken for a ball. 107. 11:07 Eastern time. 12:07 local here at Bowling Green. Yoder just misses and falls behind in the count 2-0. Interesting, everything in this day and age is so automated. Even when daylight savings times hit, you don't really have to go change too many clocks in your house, maybe your stove or something, but even most of those are smarter than we are now. But for whatever reason, my computer stays in Eastern time no matter where I'm at.
Yeah, mine too.
Emma Elrod gets ahead in the count 3-0 now.
Speaking of Eastern, Liberty is the only team of the 6 here that's an Eastern time zone school. Got 4 Central and 1 Mountain.
A wide conference as Yoder finds the zone for the first time. 3 balls and 1 strike. Not going to gain any time zones, but it's going to get even wider next year, with Delaware joining a little further east than Liberty. 3-1, popped up on the infield, easy play for Brooke Roberts. She takes a few steps in at first base, and we have 1 out. Morgan Nowakowski, center fielder, batting from the left side. Waits the first pitch from Kaylin Yoder. Just outside for a ball. Home plate umpire Aaron Golden. Steve Winter is at first. Jose Travis at third. Pitch from Yoder. Misses again. She's fallen behind the first 2 hitters.
Yoder has a very similar pitch mix to Elena Escobar, the rise ball and change, but Yoder's command is not quite to the Escobar standard, but few are.
True. 2-0, called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the first.
And you have Escobar from the right and Yoder from the left, so even though it's the same pitch mix, it's a different look, being righty versus lefty.
Here's a 2-1 inside, ball 3. First 2 hitters exactly the same spot. Not a bad crowd developing here for the early game. Yoder has this one foul back to the screen, and it goes to 3-2. Flames travel pretty good. Got some fans, and usually very vocal fans. Even last year at New Mexico State. Decent amount of Flames fans were out at those games. The 3-2 pitch from Yoder popped out into shallow right field. Going back to get it is Woodard from second. And so 2 lazy pop outs to begin the game, which puts Amber Reed, the designated player, up. Reed a 324 on the season, 1 home run, 31 RBIs. Emma Elrod, the leadoff hitter, has the most homers on the team. She's got 14. First pitch to Reed is fouled back to the screen. Reed's got some curly blonde locks coming out of the back of her red batting helmet. Takes this pitch for a strike and falls behind in the count, 0-2. Yoder looks in and now fires. Popped out into left field. Doer's got a beat on it. She makes the catch. That one hit just a little harder than the first two, but no danger. So 3 pop-ups. Jax State goes down 1-2-3 in the top half of the first inning. Liberty will get their cuts coming up after this break here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit us at centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram.
Lynchburg Nissan is jumping into March Madness with full court press savings. Right now, save $6,100 off MSRP. Lock in rates as low as 2.39% and get up to 130% of fair KBB value for your trade. And because we believe in driving with confidence, every new Nissan comes with our 1,000,000-mile powertrain warranty. That's peace of mind for the road ahead. Don't miss these slam dunk deals. Visit Lynchburg Nissan today or shop online anytime at lynchburgnissan.com. Home of the 1,000,000-mile warranty.
As a Flames Club member, you get access to premium seating, parking, and hospitality on game day. Go to libertyflamesclub.org today to learn more. Now back to more Lady Flame softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
No scores. We head to the bottom half of the first inning. Flames will have the top of their lineup going. Savannah Woodard, she led off yesterday's game with a home run. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Woodard hitting .333 on the year. Swings and misses. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. In the circle for Jax State is Kat Carter. Carter, the senior. 11-7, 2.51 ERA. Fires in. It's right back at her. Actually goes off of her leg, but right to the shortstop Davis, who throws over in time to get Woodard. Tough break for Savannah. She hit that hard. If Carter would have been able to get her leg out of the way, it would have gone into center field for a base hit.
And she gets an assist on that, the 163 put out. Kind of a hockey assist.
And it doesn't look like it hurt her at all. She didn't even grimace. Rachel Roop up with nobody on and 1 out in the first. Takes the first pitch for a ball.
When we first saw Jacksonville State, Carter started game 3. She started the Sunday game, even though she's basically their ace.
The 1-0 taken for a ball.
Second team all conference is Carter this year with a 2.51 ERA.
To Roop. Ball 3. Curious, and I know this isn't a stat that would be easily kept, but it's subjective. But how many quality pitches has Rachel Roop seen this season? Yeah. Sees one there. It's a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike, so they're not pitching around her at all, but she does have a good eye. It's almost impossible to get ahead of Rachel Roop as a pitcher. The 3-1 off speed, froze her, and count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Her last home run of the regular season was on a changeup, so you can't throw too many in a row to Roop and expect her to not do something with it.
This pitch is foul back. She'll try again. Again, Woodard grounded out to begin the inning. 1-6-3 off of the leg of Kat Carter. Then Davis Through to Martin. Here's the payoff. Foul back again. So we'll have to get paid once more.
Yeah. those payoff pitches don't always pay off.
Get pricey.
Yeah.
Three-two. Hit hard out into center field for a base hit. Rachel Roop continues to add to what is currently a 380 average. Her 63rd hit of the season. Only behind KK Madry on the team. Bryn McManus, the designated player, steps into the right-handed batter's box, takes the first pitch for a strike.
I should have done more prep on this, but Carter was the 2022 ASUN Freshman of the Year, and second in the voting was Rachel Roop.
It's amazing how that seems to come around, doesn't it? Of course, Jack State kind of followed the same path as Liberty did in their ventures, moving into the ASUN and then moving into Conference USA. His pitch to McManus is fouled up and out of play. Over towards the porta potty behind the third base dugout.
Next to a scissor lift, which brings back memories of the 2017 Big South tournament.
PTSD. McManus takes a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, that tournament at Longwood, our radio broadcast location was right, but almost exactly where that scissor lift is if it was just up in the air, right behind the 2 dugouts. We were, I think, on one side one day and one side the other. McManus will pop it high in the air. I think it's going to just squirt out of play. Matter of fact, it hit the rope that supports the netting. I believe it was beyond where the netting actually drapes down, but that rope goes out to 2 giant poles down each line, and it hit the rope. Couldn't do that again in 100 years, probably. If you were trying.
A little bit of a breeze in from right that might have pushed that foul.
2-2, foul back again. McManus working this at bat. Roop's down at first. There is 1 out, no score. Liberty and Jack State. The winner goes to the championship game tomorrow, and I say game because it's singular. There's only 1. Pitch to McManus. Strike 3 called. Just must have nicked the outside corner. McManus thought it was wide, and I tend to agree with her. So for Carter, that is her 98th strikeout on the season. Brooke Roberts hit a homer yesterday. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Flames bats were working pretty good all the way around in yesterday's game. 1-0. Fooled her. She swings and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs and Roop at first.
And Brooke Roberts was the conference tournament MVP last year, and in the tournament and regionals hit 500 combined.
Takes a ball.
With 12 RBIs.
Gets out ahead 2-1. She came up clutch.
Yep. Maybe she might be the new Miss May, taking over for Caitlin McFarland back in the
2-1 is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike.
2017 to 19 range.
The 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Flames are going to have a runner in scoring position. With Roop at second, and now Roberts at first. I mentioned the fact that that was the 98th strikeout a moment ago for Kat Carter. Now the 55th walk on the season for Carter. KK Madry is up, so the infield is in. First pitch to her is swung on and missed.
Yeah, as we mentioned yesterday, she roped that triple to right, and she can also drop a bunt and get on easily. So that it's very difficult to play defense against her.
Here's the pitch, ground ball back up the middle. A diving play at second base by Phillips, and she's able to smack the bag with her glove. Another 6 inches to the left, and that's a base hit, and the Flames would have gotten a run on the board, but as it stands, it's 4 unassisted, and Liberty leaves a couple of runners stranded as we end this first inning with no score here in Bowling Green. We'll be back with the second inning right after this timeout here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Curious about the housing market in Central Virginia? The caring, competent, trusted advisors at Carl Miller Realty have over 100 years of combined experience. We are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk with our winning team. That's carlmillerrealty.com.
The Liberty Flames thank Segra for their support. Segra collaborates with companies to offer business-only, carrier-grade connectivity, cybersecurity, voice and cloud solutions tailored to meet their diverse needs. Segra offers these solutions across a fiber network that spans 28 states in the U.S. and is headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. They can be reached at segra.com or 833-GO-SEGRA. Segra, a proud partner of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
No score as we head now to the second inning. The finale of, I guess, what you would call the winner's bracket. I don't think Conference USA calls it the loser's bracket. I think they call it the contenders bracket after you lose your first game.
Yeah, and you wouldn't call it a consolation bracket because you still have a chance to come back to win the tournament.
True. Kaylin Yoder has the first pitch of this at bat, hit right back to her. She makes the catch as Kaylee Martin didn't hit it very hard, but it did take some quick reflexes because your momentum might kind of pull you to one side or the other, and sort of a little bit against the grain for Kaylin as she's able to squeeze it for the first out. Kaiser now the hitter. She takes a big cut, comes up empty, the catcher. Hitting .329 on the season, 8 home runs, 26 RBIs. Inside for a ball, 1 strike.
Talking with their SID, Kaiser began the season as the backup catcher. Their starting catcher got a season-ending injury, and Kaiser in only 23 starts has 8 homers, 26 RBIs. So she's really taking command of this catcher spot.
Yoder's 1-1. Little excuse me swing, fouls it back. One out, nobody on, top of the second, no score. Flames the number 1 seed. JAX State the number 3 seed. They've won 2 games to get to this point. The Flames have won 1. Here's the pitch. A little high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sun has now gone back behind the clouds. And with steady breeze in, it is a bit chilly. 2-2, strike 3 called. Yoder gets Kaiser looking. Kaylin, that is her 78th strikeout of the season. JC Underwood will now bat. The righty checks her swing, but it was a strike anyway. Underwood hitting .278 on the season, 5 home runs, 28 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Popped foul and almost out onto the street. Into the Flames bullpen.
Good attempt out there by Kai Sampson, son of Haley Sampson, Director of Operations.
The 0-2 just outside. Jesse tried to frame it, but it was off the plate. Savannah Jesse behind the dish. Yoder in the circle. Crane, Byram, Woodard, and Roberts in the infield for the Flames. Dorr, Madry, and Roop in the outfield. Here's the pitch. Opposite side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs and nobody on. Underwood at the plate for Jax State. No score in the top of the second. Now the 2-2 high. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Bachman's stretching out in the bullpen, but as of right now, just getting some work in. She did that early in yesterday's game, a couple innings.
Yoder takes her time, now steps on the rubber and gives us a 3-2, which misses. Ball 4. Oddly enough, both pitchers, after their first strikeout of the game, also got their first walk of the game. Flames couldn't do anything with it in the bottom half of the last inning. Jax State with 2 outs, going to try to keep this going with Aria Davis. First pitch to Davis is called a strike. For Yoder, that was their 60th walk to go with those 78 strikeouts. Davis hitting .230 on the year, 3 home runs, 26 RBIs. Takes a pitch for a ball. Underwood down at first has 13 stolen bases on the year, has been caught stealing 3 times. The 1-1 missed. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now a quick conversation in the circle. Savannah Jesse and Brooke Roberts talking to Yoder as the sun pops back out. Stadium here at WKU has seating just behind the backstop and one section up the lines, and then you've got the dugouts. There's no seating above the dugouts, no seating in the outfield either. There is a parking garage, giant 7-story parking garage beyond the left field wall, and there's quite a few fans that are watching the game looking out of the parking garage, as we're now going to have a visit in the circle from associate head coach Casey Fagan-Graham. Casey in her 8th season at Liberty. And no Dot Richardson-Pinto this time. Usually she'll come out and talk to the infielders, but Casey's talking to everybody.
We talked about this yesterday, but in the parking garage, it's a unique setup. You don't have to stop your tailgating. Just sit out there all game on the tailgate.
Yeah.
And you can watch the game.
I'm not sure, but I didn't see anybody taking tickets out there, so I don't think you have to pay to watch from the parking garage. Pretty good vantage point, especially the higher floors. Nobody's really on the higher floors though. Conversation's over. Now a 2-1 from Yoder to Davis is fouled back, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Underwood at first. looks in and now is ready to fire the 2-2 off speed. Missed. 3 balls and 2 strikes. No score and 2 outs. The runner at first, Underwood, got the red oven mitt on her left hand. She's off. It's ball 4 anyway. So now WKU will have runners at first and second. The Flames were able to get runners in that exact same spot in the last half inning. Also with 2 outs. And we're a great play from Ashley Phillips at second, away from having a base hit and a run. Ashley Phillips is now batting for Jax State. First pitch to her is outside. Yoder looks in, now the 1-0. Called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-1 to Phillips. Sliced foul and out of play. Into the Flames bullpen. Flames dugout down the right field line.
The home bullpen has about 5 pitching lanes. Very wide bullpen.
Yeah, it is. It's like a double decker almost compared to what's normal. The 1-2 sent out into to center field, I should say. KK Madry actually ends up in right field where she makes the catch to end the inning. A hard hit ball by Davis, but not able to get around the speed of KK Madry. And the Flames, after allowing 2 runners to get on, able to get their way out of it. And we have no score now going to the bottom half of the second inning here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Are your feet preventing you from living life? Hi, I'm Jonathan Cotton, and you may have heard my Good Feet story, how I love my arch supports so much that I bought the store. Since then, thousands of customers have found relief from foot, knee, and back pain. I love to hear their stories of walking, running, and just enjoying their new life pain-free. Don't let foot, knee, or back pain keep you from living the life you love. Come into the Good Feet store for your free fitting and test walk. Visit goodfeet.com for the location nearest you. We look forward to seeing you soon at the Good Feet store.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. More information about Earthright Mid-Atlantic? 434-200-9716 or at erepower.com.
Get the latest on your favorite Flames team with the Liberty Flames podcast. Just search Liberty Flames wherever you get your podcasts or go to libertyflames.com. This is Lady Flame Softball from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames Sports Network.
No score. Now in the bottom of the second inning, Liberty will have Paige Dorr, Rachel Crane, and Savannah Jesse coming up. Dorr takes the first pitch for a ball. Paige on the season hitting .351, a couple of home runs, 19 RBIs. Clean off home plate. We'll be ready to go now. Aaron Golden, home plate umpire. Kat Carter's pitch is bunted foul by Dorr down the third base line. As you might be able to tell in our crowd mics, it's the wind is really picking up, blowing in from center field. It's going to be a whole lot harder to hit a home run today. kind of blowing in from center towards the first base dugout. Door ahead, 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Carter. Popped out into left field. Wynn playing a little bit of a trick on it, but Elrod makes the catch for the first out. Flames Rachel Crane playing third base. Getting her first at bat today. Crane 258 on the year. Takes the first pitch for a strike. She's got 3 home runs, 20 RBIs. Fouls this pitch back to the screen, and she's in a hole 0-2. Crane, the right-handed hitter, awaits the right-handed pitch, which is high and tight. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Which Crane is actually a natural lefty. Her brother taught her how to bat and throw right as a youngster. She wanted to play infield.
The 1-2 popped up on the infield in foul territory. Coming in from third is Underwood. She makes the catch for the second out. So if Liberty's going to be able to get anything going in the second, they're going to have to do it with 2 outs. Savannah Jesse, the sophomore, 321 on the year. Couple of homers, 25 RBIs. Looks at the first pitch for a strike. Fouls this high in the air, but it's going to stay in play. The catcher, Kaiser, near the batter's box, or I should say the on-deck hitters area there behind the Flames, front of the Flames dugout. Makes the catch, so nothing going for the Flames. Here in the second inning, 3 pop-ups. And we head to the third inning with no score. Here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, Liberty and JAX State trying to play their way into the championship game of the CUSA Tournament tomorrow. We'll be back with the third after this here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Frank Good Builders is a proud supporter of the Liberty Flames. Frank Good Builders and its partners design and build beautiful custom homes in the Lynchburg and the surrounding areas. From designing a plan to picking out fixtures, Frank Good Builders works with you to design and build your truly custom dream home. Frank Good Builders can be reached at 434-238-3710 or frankgoodbuilders.com.
You're listening to Lady Flame Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Now for a look at the out-of-town scoreboard built by Frank Good Builders.
Well, a lot of games going on as far as conference tournaments are concerned. ACC, SEC, I mean, just all the Power Fours are playing, and just about every conference in the country. As far as some ACC scores to tell you about, Florida State beat Duke earlier, 3-2, and currently Virginia Tech and Clemson are tied at 1 in the bottom of the third. Big 12 will be underway later. Arizona State and Texas Tech, Iowa State and Arizona. In the Big 10, UCLA and Nebraska, Purdue and Michigan. SEC will see Arkansas and Oklahoma, as well as Texas A&M and Texas playing. Kaylin Yoder still in the circle for Liberty. First pitch to Cushingberry. It's taken for a ball. little bit of control issues for Yoder in that last inning. She walked 2 batters, but then got out of it. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike to Cushingberry. Haley Cushingberry, freshman outfielder, hitting .316 on the year. No home runs, 19 RBIs. She's got quite a bit of speed. The Flames having to play in, respecting her ability to put a bunt down. She fouls it back to the screen and falls behind in the count 1-2.
Cushingberry is batting .450 in the last 10 games. Their SID told me that all of those hits have been singles in the last 10 games.
I bet a lot of those are on the infield. The 1-2, high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Flames certainly respecting that, as Crane is about 4 steps in from third. Roberts not quite as close, but even with the bag at first, and both middle infielders are in as well. As this pitch is inside for a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out, nobody on, top of the third. Here between Liberty and JAX State. Here's the pitch, foul back. A natural grass surface here at Western Kentucky. All dirt infield. Can't tell actually if it's grass behind home plate or if that's turf. That might be just a little section of turf. But the outfield is grass. This is nubbed past Julie Boland, third base coach and head coach for JAX State. We'll do it again. Boland in her first season at JAX State led the Gamecocks to a 15-11 conference record, which was good for the number 3 seed. Flames were 23-3 in the 1 seed. Here's the pitch, fouled off again. Yeah, as I take a closer inspection, what would be grass behind home plate and down the foul line at first and third is actually turf. The grass then picks up at that point, and the outfield is all grass. The 3-2, sliced foul again. Down the third base line.
These two teams do have some conference tournament history. 2 years ago, if you'll remember, in the ASUN, the Lady Flames opened with a 4-2 win over Jacksonville State. Had home runs by KK Madry and Sierra Kirsten, and Kat Carter, today's starter for Jacksonville State, was the losing pitcher in that game.
3-2, almost hit her either way, ball 4. And the leadoff runner is on, and a speedy leadoff runner is on. 15 stolen bases on the year and only been caught stealing once. Emma Elrod back at the top of the lineup. She popped up on the infield her first time up. First pitch to her is popped foul. Balls into the Flames dugout off of the screen netting.
That almost hit Maddie Harris or Bryn McManus. They were close together.
The 0-1 from Yoder to Elrod. Taken for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Elrod's a first team all-conference player with 14 home runs, and looking at her, she doesn't look like a power hitter. No offense.
The 1-1 squares the bunt. It gets away from Jesse, back to the backstop. The runner will advance. The call was a ball, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike, and WKU has a runner in scoring position with no outs.
Scored a pass ball on Savannah Jesse to get that runner to second. It was a fake bunt,
2-1, up the middle, base hit. Charging it is Madry. The throw to the plate is going to force the runner to stay put. So scrambling back is Cushingberry.
They say discretion is the better part of valor, and she would have been out by probably 10 feet. That was a seed by Madry.
There are runners now at first and third and no outs. A jam that Yoder's going to have to work her way out of. And Joe, as you mentioned, Paige Bachman has been warming up for the Flames. We'll see how short the leash is with Yoder. First pitch to Nowakowski is taken for a ball.
Coming into the game, she was batting .338 with an identical slugging percentage as on-base percentage, .477, .477, 35 walks, and 7 hit by pitch. On-base machine here with Nowakowski.
The 1-0, checks her swing and takes a strike.
But she was one of those that had a lazy pop in the first inning.
Yoder's 1-1. High and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike, and that's been the biggest issue in this game for Yoder. Is very few hitters has she been able to get out ahead of. Kind of battling from behind, trying to find the zone. The 2-1 popped high in the air, shallow center field. Madry comes in, but Byram makes the catch, and KK, if she would have called off Jemiah, would have been catching that in a traditional position where the shortstop might even begin the at-bat standing. she was covering a lot of ground, but Byram actually gets the out. 1 out, and the runners have to stay where they're at, first and third, so an unproductive out for WKU. Now Amber Reed will step up. First pitch to her is hit hard to center field. Madry goes back, and she's not going to get to it. The ballpark's not going to hold it. A 3-run homer for JAX State on a line shot that didn't allow the wind to affect it. Amber Reed allows JAX State to strike first. Reed with only her second home run of the season, but it's a big one as it gives her team a 3-0 lead, and the Flames are going to make a pitching change. So we'll take a timeout and come back with the numbers right after this.
Stay informed and entertained with the Liberty Flames podcast, presented by Sentry Exteriors. Get the latest news and hear from the players and coaches from your favorite Flames teams.
First of all, it's a privilege just to have a chance to be in the NCAA tournament.
I expect us to play our best football going forward. I really believe that.
Catch the latest coaches shows, the NASCAR podcast, double coverage, the Liberty Flames Clubhouse Report, and more. It's all on the Liberty Flames podcast channel. Listen on the Liberty Flames mobile app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Flames find themselves behind 3-0 in the top of the third after a 3-run homer from Amber Reed, only her second of the season. Flames will bring in Paige Bachman. Bases are empty and 1 out. Bachman on the year, an 11-3 record, 2.61 ERA. Her first pitch to Kaylee Martin is taken for a ball. Bachman with 3 saves on the year, 88 strikeouts, 36 walks. Opponents hitting .251 against her. This is her 32nd appearance as this pitch is fouled off. That's the most of anybody on the squad. And Joe, that ended a little bit of a streak for the Flames. They'd had 4 straight shutout wins coming into today.
and 30 straight scoreless innings pitched dating back to the middle of that UVA game last week.
Bachman's 1-1 to Martin. Taken for a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Martin had a soft liner back to the pitcher her first time up. The 2-1 fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now Bachman, the scouting report, she has a changeup and a drop ball, and so it's a totally different look from Yoder and Escobar. But if that drop ball hangs, it's a easier pitch to hit.
2-2's fouled off.
So you'll see, typically with Bachman, you'll see a lot of ground ball outs on that low pitch that they just can't get under.
Bachman's 2-2, called strike 3. So Bachman comes in and gets the second out of the inning. Which brings Michaela Kaiser. She also struck out looking in her first at bat. That was against Yoder. First pitch is taken for a strike. So Bachman comes in and throwing strikes so far.
Bachman has the fastest fastball on the team. She's hit 70 or 71 this year, I believe.
The 0-1 fouled off. Kaiser, the junior for WKU. 324 on the year. 8 home runs.
With 2 of those being in the tournament.
The 0-2, just outside. Flames wanted that. Did look like it was a little bit outside from here.
Which we have a really good vantage point on the home plate.
Pretty much directly above it. This pitch is fouled off just slightly to the first base side, but pretty much right behind. We're above the press box on the camera landing. Do have a roof over the top of us and the netting actually in front, but also there's a netting that goes from the hanging net all the way back to our overhead roof. So no way a ball can get to us as this pitch is taken for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. ESPN camera is to my left in the center of that crow's nest, and we're to the right as we look out. Bachman's 2-2 is outside, missed with the heat. The count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 outs, but 3 runs across for JAX State. They lead 3-0. Here's the payoff, ball 4. Which puts J.C. Underwood, who actually walked her first time to the plate, is eventually stranded at second. Takes a strike. Counts 0-1. Kaiser, the runner at first, doesn't have any stolen bases on the season. The 0-1, foul back. Now the 0-2 from Paige Bachman. Just missed. Same spot that she wanted on the last at bat as well. Doesn't get it.
Underwood is one of 3 all-freshman team members from Jax State, also Kaylee Martin and Haley Cushenberry.
The 1-2 sent out into right field, base hit. Runner holds at second, so they'll be at first and second with 2 outs. Underwood with the single. Flames facing their first difficulties of this Conference USA tournament. First time they've been stressed. We saw that last year, and they were able to fight through it as Davis takes the first pitch for a ball. She also walked her last time.
Elena Escobar is now warming in the bullpen.
Bachman fires in the 1-0, and it's lofted to second. Woodard has to wait for a second. Didn't even have to jump. She makes the catch to end the inning. But not before Jacksonville State's able to score 3 runs on the homer by Amber Reed. And they take this 3-0 lead into the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Liberty on their side will have Byram, Woodard, and Roop when we return here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns. Our products are moving, and our trucks are rolling. We share a passion and a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Looking to buy a home or refinance a mortgage? Now is the time to take advantage of your one-of-a-kind offer from Alcova Mortgage. As an employee or alumni with Liberty University, you are eligible to receive a lender credit that equates to 1% of your total loan amount up to $5,000. This offer provides you with some much-needed savings while also helping you tackle your closing costs. Visit alcova.com/liberty today for details. Offer does not apply to broker loans.
Alcova Mortgage, NMLS ID 40508, NMLSConsumerAccess.org, Equal Housing Lender.
Now back to more Lady Flame softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Jemiah Byram leading things off for Liberty. Flames down 3-0. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, the first pitch from Kat Carter is taken for a ball. Byram had a big homer yesterday, which was her 2nd of the season. Hitting .226, 6 RBIs. She's been able to come in and play for Savannah Watley as this pitch is hit down to 3rd. Underwood goes to her knees to make the play, gets up and fires over for the first out of the inning. But to finish that thought, Byram has gotten the start the last couple of weekends because of a recurring injury to Savannah Watley, newcomer of the year in Conference USA. Not with the team this weekend, and they're hoping she'll recover quickly. The first pitch to Woodard is taken for a ball.
First we've seen Jacksonville State action in the bullpen. McKinley Portillo, number 8.
Pitch is fouled back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, nobody on. At the bottom of the 3rd.
Escobar and Tyler Ube beginning to stretch out in the Flames bullpen.
Sun pops back out as Carter's offering his foul back. 1-2 to Woodard. Gone from overcast to sunny 3 or 4 times in the game so far. Still chilly and the wind blowing in. 1-2 is fouled out of play. Back over in the soccer field, which is over on the third base side. The giant parking garage is out in left field all the way out to center along the fence line, along the outfield fence. That parking garage is for both softball and soccer, as this pitch is fouled off again, and we'll try another 1-2. And so on this side, it has a giant WKU logo that says softball and has the conference champions and NCAA tournaments. On the other side of the garage, it's got all the soccer accolades. The 1-2 hit hard out into the gap and left center field. Woodard's going to try to leg it to second, and she slides in safely. Boy, I didn't think she had a chance when she rounded first, but she was able to swim around the tag, and the Flames will have a runner at second base with one out.
That was a very aggressive play, and it worked out.
And surprisingly, no challenge. I thought we might see the challenge flag on that play, but not the case. Roop up to bat. First pitch to her, hits her. Hits her on the hand. She shakes it off, trots down to first. As long as she's okay, I feel like that might have just sped up the process. It just seemed like one of those at-bats where she was destined to walk anyway. So Roop, who had a single back in the first inning, now gets on with the hit by pitch. She's at first. Woodard's at second, and the tying run will come to the plate, which is Bryn McManus. McManus struck out looking her first time up. That was in the first inning. We're now in the bottom of the third. After a quick chat in the circle, the infielders get back to their spots, and the first pitch to McManus is taken for a strike. Woodard at second, Roop at first. Flames trailing by 3 in the third. Here's the pitch. High and tight, almost hit her. She has to duck out of the way. 1-1. And the Flames dugout has now come alive. The 1-1, foul back. Feels like a really big sequence in this game. After the Flames gave up those 3 runs, if they could get something back in the bottom half of the inning. The 1-2 popped up, foul territory, and it's going to scoot out of play and almost hit a guy. I don't know that he ever saw it. Fortunately for him, it bounced just in front of him. Standing in the area where it says, "Do not stand." Now the 1-2 to McManus popped out into center field. Woodard goes back to the bag. She fakes as if she's going to tag to force the throw, but she stays put, so the runners will be at first and second now with 2 outs. And Brooke Roberts up. Roberts walked back in the first inning. The lefty takes the first pitch for a ball. Roberts hitting .285 on the year. 5 home runs. She'd love to get a 6th right now. The 1-0. A called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike.
She hit one yesterday, and I asked her this morning, and she said I went up and during that bat, and my goal was to hit a home run, and I did it.
She certainly did. It was a no-doubter. The 1-1 from Carter, swung on and missed. Nope, actually Just got a piece of it, fouled it back into the mitt of McKaylin Kaiser. 1 and 2. Runners at first and second, but 2 outs, and the Flames trailing by 3 in the third. Time called by Kaiser. There is a pitch clock in softball, but there's not a physical clock here at WKU Stadium. The 1-2, little soft liner back to the circle where Carter makes the play, and the Flames strand a couple of runners after a double by Woodard, and then Roop got on after she was hit. 2 outs after that, and we go now to the 4th inning. Flames still trailing 3-0 here in this final game of the winner's bracket. Winner of this game moves on to the championship. Winner take all tomorrow at noon local. The loser of the game will have to play later tonight to try to get into that game tomorrow. Back with more after this. You're listening to the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Foster has been fostering warm moments for 100 years. Headquartered in Brookneal, Virginia, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services since 1921. Stop by one of our 6 showroom locations across Central Virginia to view our wide range of products. From propane to fireplaces and grills to tank installs and tankless water heaters, Foster has it all. Download our app or visit fosterfuels.com for more info.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
You're listening to Liberty Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Time now to check the Carter Bank box score.
Well, for the Flames, the box score doesn't look as nice as they would like. We're already underway. In the top of the 4th, Flames trailing 3-0. Jacksonville State 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors. The Flames no runs, a couple of hits and no errors. Liberty's had to make a pitching change already. Kaylin Yoder got the start, gave up the 3 runs as this pitch to Phillips is grounded to third. Crane over for the out. Made it look easy. So Yoder again got the start and then gave up the 3-run homer to Amber Reed in the 3rd inning. That's when Bachman came in. Haley Cushingberry swings and misses. Cushingberry walked and came around to score in the 3rd. Tries to bunt, but bunts it foul. Nice play by Jessie. She throws down. Robert scooped it at first, but it was a foul ball.
First base umpire rung her up anyway.
Yeah, it was a lively out call at first, but the ball, unfortunately for the Flames, was in the left-handed batter's box in foul territory. The 0-2 from Bachman. Just missed.
Much to the displeasure of the Liberty contingent.
Yeah, they're fired up.
Yeah.
The 1-2 misses outside, and that one wasn't close. Shame that one play didn't count, as now Bachman forces Cushingberry into a swing and miss. Completely fooled her. That was well out of the zone. It is the 2nd strikeout of the game so far for Page.
Bachman with her signature strikeout celebration. For those watching on Facebook Live, you just saw my interpretation.
Those that aren't watching
have no idea what I just did.
Joe looks like a maniac. First pitch to, and that's, I mean, you know.
Or like Fred Schneider on Mesopotamia.
You're getting really in the weeds now. You're getting into stories that we might not have enough time to talk your way out of.
Likely not.
Count is 1-1 to Emma Elrod, but essentially Bachman does the kind of throws one glove up in the air and then puts up however many outs it is. In that case, 2. As Elrod takes the ball, the count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
I just thought it was like a interpretive dance or something. I didn't realize it was like the number of outs.
Yeah,
that makes sense now.
Number of outs on her ungloved hand. The 2-1. Call for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now Jacksonville State didn't like that call.
Well, it evens out.
Yeah.
It seems to work that way. Home plate umpire Aaron Golden. If you're making both dugouts unhappy, then I guess that's at least even, as this pitch is roped out into center field, and it just keeps going. Almost a carbon copy of what happened with Amber Reed. It goes over the head of Madry, and to the surprise of everyone, over the wall as well. Never got more than about 15 feet off the ground.
I thought KK might have had a beat on that, but it just kept going, and maybe got, what, 6 inches over the wall?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think once KK turned as if she wasn't going to be able to catch it, you expected it was going to maybe even short hop the wall, but it just kept going. And JAX State now has a 4-0 lead.
That's home run number 15 for Elrod, who last at bat I said didn't look like a power hitter.
Well, the numbers don't lie.
Has 696 slugging percentage coming in as a leadoff batter.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
1-0 to Nowakowski. She grounds it back to Bachman. Bachman is able to field her position well and throw over to first, but one more run does come across for JAX State in the top of the 4th. They get one hit, and it's a homer, solo home run by Emma Elrod. JAX State leads 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. You're on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Your business deserves a bank that values relationships and prioritizes customer service. Since 1979, First Bank and Trust Company has been delivering on these very commitments. Our bankers have been accessible, consultative, and provide a degree of understanding developed through years of commercial experience. First Bank and Trust has the expertise and capital to fund small and large projects up to $32 million. More information on First Bank and Trust and its services is available at firstbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Score big at Haley's Appliance and Haley's Outdoor in Lynchburg with major brands of appliances that will make your house feel like a home and outdoor equipment to have your yard looking its best. Haley's puts customer service first. They deliver and service all of the products they sell and will take care of the process from start to finish. Log on to Haley's.com today for product availability. Haley's Appliance and Haley's Outdoor in Lynchburg is a proud sponsor for Liberty Flames Athletics.
Follow the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner on social media and keep up with all your favorite teams. Search LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Now back to more Lady Flames softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
KK Madry leading things off for Liberty. They trail 4-0. Now in the bottom half of the 4th inning, a couple of home runs, a 3-run blast in the 3rd and a solo shot in the 4th. Has given Jacksonville State a comfortable lead as Madry flares this foul. It's going to be out of the reach of Emma Elrod coming in from left field. Foul ball, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. KK grounded out back in the 1st inning to second base. Phillips was able to dive and stop it from going into the outfield and then slap a tag on the bag to get a force out and end the inning. KK was just a few inches away from putting the Flames on the board first. She squares the bunt, pulls back, and takes a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. KK hitting .407 on the season. 1 home run, 27 RBIs. Dorr and Crane to follow in the lineup. 5, 6, and 7. 2-1, ground ball to second. Phillips has to wait for it, throws over in plenty of time. The bats just haven't got going for the Flames so far. They've had 2 spots where they've had a runner in first and second but couldn't get anything out of it. First inning and then in the third. The first pitch to Dorr is low. In that first inning, Roop singled, Roberts walked with 2 outs before that ground ball by Madry ended the inning. In the third, Woodard opened with a double. I'm sorry, with a 1-out double as Dorr gets hit in the back. Carter just got away from her. She actually looks over as Dorr was walking to first, kind of to make sure she was okay. Certainly unintentional, but the Flames will get a runner on. Second time in the game they've had a hit by pitch. That finishes my thought on the third inning. After 1 out, Woodard and Roop got on. Woodard with a double. Roop was hit by a pitch, but then a pop out and a line out ended that third inning with nothing across for the Flames. First pitch to Crane is taken for a strike.
Dorr wasn't very happy with that, getting hit in the back. She stared down. I don't know if it was directly at the catcher or the catcher just happened to be in the way, and I got to look at that stare.
The 0-1, high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Crane, who's hitting .256 on the year. She does have 3 home runs. Popped up in foul territory back in the second. Sun pops out. The 1-1 is high and tight. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dorr at first, Crane at the bat. Flames trailing by 4 in the 4th. This pitch is high and outside, and Carter's lost the zone. She's behind 3-1.
Crane had an eventful race around the bases yesterday. She said she saw the stop sign too late and just went for it and ended up scoring all the way from first on a double.
The 3-1 is fouled off as a train heads back behind the parking garage out in left field. The 2:20 is an hour and 1 minute late because it's actually 1:20 here, 1:21 to be exact. 3-2 pitch, line drive to second. Nice catch by Phillips. She throws over to double up Dorr. I think Paige thought that was going to get into the gap, and she was looking to score from first. Instead, she's doubled off, and the inning comes to an end. A couple of nice plays in this game by Ashley Phillips to end opportunities that Liberty had with base runners. And this spot, she's able to make the catch and throw over to Martin to finish off the Flames. In the 4th, we head to the 5th. Liberty still trailing 4-0 here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Move those coffee chains, Flames fans, and go local. Central Virginia's own Ironclad Coffee Roasters and Baking Company is the premier coffee partner of Liberty Athletics. Pay them a visit at one of their cafes in the Richmond area or at the Richmond International Airport. They'll also ship their specialty grade coffee straight to your door. Visit ironcladcoffee.com, that's www.ironcladcoffee.com, to check out the coffee Flames fans are talking about.
Curious about the housing market in Central Virginia? The caring, competent, trusted advisors at Carl Miller Realty have over 100 years of combined experience. We are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk with our winning team. That's carlmillerrealty.com.
Now back to more Lady Flame softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Liberty's trailing Jack State 4-0 as we start the 5th inning here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, home of the WKU Hilltoppers. They play a little bit later on today. Against La Tech. And the winner of that game will play the loser of this game, as the first pitch to Reed is dribbled down to first. Roberts picks it up and gets the first out of the inning. Reed had the 3-run homer back in the 3rd inning to get the scoring going. Elrod added a solo homer in the 4th. This pitch is turned on but fouled. Down the 3rd baseline by Kaylee Martin. Martin's 0 for 2, lined out in the 2nd, struck out looking. She was the first hitter to face off against Bachman when she came in relief after the 3-run homer. The 0-1 from Bachman, almost identical. A little nubber down to first. Roberts picks it up, steps on the base for the 2nd out. Kaylin Kaiser, Gamecocks catcher. Swings and misses the first pitch. Nobody on, now 2 outs. Top of the 5th. The 0-1. Just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
These two teams have seen a lot of each other this week, sharing the same hotel.
Yeah, and it was an interesting interaction as the 1-1 is taken for a strike between some of the Jack State players and head coach of the Flames, Dot Richardson Pinto, that eventually led to a mass baptism in the pool at the Embassy Suites. It's a pretty cool story. This ball's taken inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you'd like to hear the entire story, you can on this week's Liberty Flames softball show. Find that on your favorite podcast outlet or on YouTube at Liberty Flames Sports Network. Ball in the dirt. Runs the count full at 3-2. Along with Coach Dot Richardson, also Rachel Roop and KK Madry were on the show. And you can watch the video on YouTube or listen to the podcast as well. The 3-2 hit high and deep to left field. Going back his door. She is not going to get to it. It one-hops the parking garage, and the 3rd homer of the day for Jack State gives them a 5-0 lead.
And that's Kaiser's 3rd home run of the tournament. She's had 1 in each of the 3 games so far for Jack State. Has Michaela Kaiser. It's 9 home runs on the season and 24 starts as a backup catcher coming in.
So you can see some frustrated looks on the Liberty faces right now. What they've been doing the last couple of weekends is being done to them. Being shut out and against a team that's hitting the ball hard. First pitch to Underwood is taken for a ball. J.C. Underwood walked in the 2nd inning, singled in the 3rd. Lines it back up the middle and right through the wickets. into center field. I don't think that actually hit Bachman. I think it went right between her legs. So a hard hit single by Underwood. She's been on base every single at bat today. Jax State leading 5-0. There are 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Pitch to Davis, gets away from Jesse, and the runner Underwood will advance. Assuming wild pitch.
Wild pitch.
Davis takes a strike, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Coach Bolin said came down, said that's not a strike, that's too low.
The 1-1. Strike on the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Underwood at second. There are 2 outs. Here's the 1-2. Low. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Davis. Davis walked in the second, lined out in the third. The 2-2 swung on and missed. Bachman gets the strikeout, but not before another run comes across on the solo homer by Kaiser. 1 runner left on, a couple of hits in the inning. Flames trail 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. And it is time for the 5th inning stretch presented by the Carl Miller Realty team. Don't stretch your budget when searching for your next home. Talk to the caring, competent, trusted advisors at Carl Miller Realty. Visit carlmillerrealty.com. Carl with a K. Flames going to try to get something going. They're running out of time as we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Flames are trailing 5-0 here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Owned and operated by a Liberty alum, Larry's Tire and Auto Repair offers complete auto service, including tires, preventive maintenance, and more. Larry's Tire carries all major brands and is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Larry's Tire has 2 locations in Lynchburg and at Able Tire in Concord. And coming soon, Larry's Tire will expand to a new service center in Forest. More information on Larry's Tire is available at larrystireservice.com.
Lynchburg Nissan is jumping into March Madness with full-court press savings. Right now, save $6,100 off MSRP. Lock in rates as low as 2.39%. And get up to 130% of fair KBB value for your trade. And because we believe in driving with confidence, every new Nissan comes with our million-mile powertrain warranty. That's peace of mind for the road ahead. Don't miss these slam dunk deals. Visit Lynchburg Nissan today or shop online anytime at lynchburgnissan.com. Home of the million-mile warranty.
Jax State on top of Liberty 5-0. Flames coming up in the bottom of the 5th, and got a couple of, looks like a couple of pinch hitters, one for sure. Alyssa Hinault face off against Kat Carter. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Hinault pinch hitting for Savannah Jesse.
Hinault is 8 for 18 on the season in pinch hit appearances.
Takes the ball outside, gets ahead in the count 2-0. The CAA Player of the Year last season for Campbell.
Last time we saw her was on Sunday. She got the start against FIU, and in her last at bat, presumably in the stadium, hit a home run right after Roop hit a home run in presumably her last at bat in Camp Ice Field, Liberty Softball Stadium.
You say presumably because there is always the possibility of getting to a super regional, and if there's an upset on the other side of the bracket, could possibly host a super. Hinault ahead in the count 2-0. Here's the pitch from Carter. Called a strike. Looked outside to me, but 2 balls and 1 strike. The zone has kind of moved around left to right in this game. Both dugouts have not been happy at times. The 2-1, same spot, 2-2. Alexia Carrasquillo is in the on-deck circle, so it would seem as if she's going to pinch hit for Byram next. Both of those players would then re-enter the game in the field. The 2-2 to Hinault. Same spot, but a ball.
Yeah, maybe an inch or 2 out from, but yeah, basically the same spot.
I think of the last 3 pitches were within 2 inches of each other. The 3-2, and that's in the same spot, strike 3.
4 straight pitches. That's impeccable control, I guess you would say, to throw that same pitch 4 times in a row to the same spot. She would have been good at axe throwing the other night.
Darts.
Or darts, yeah.
Second strikeout of the game for Kat Carter. Now Carrasquillo, the right-handed hitter, will step in. Pinch hitting for Byram. 341 on the year. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Got 4 home runs, 15 RBIs.
And the fourth of those home runs came here.
1-0 is low. 2 balls and no strikes.
On March 14th. It was during that 5 home run game for the Lady Flames. The second game of the doubleheader.
Going to have a chat in the circle for JAX State. Holly Mitchell will be having a conversation with Kat Carter.
Incidentally, Chat is Carrasquillo's nickname.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you know the origin?
Kenny, who's in the bullpen right now, told me, but I can't remember. I need to phone a friend. It's an expression that she uses, apparently, and then they now call her Chat.
She's ahead in the count 2-0. Carter fires, finds the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nobody on, 1 out. Liberty trailing 5-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Hit hard, but right at third. Underwood on 1 hop throws the first for the second out of the inning. Hit hard, but right at Underwood. And back to the top of the lineup, Savannah Woodard. She doubled her last time up. It's 1 for 2 on the day. Really should be 2 for 2. The first pitch to her is taken for a strike. In her first at bat, she laced the ball right back up the box, and it went off of Carter's leg, but right to Davis, the shortstop, who threw out Woodard. Anything else would have been a base hit, but it deflected just where she needed it. And now Woodard will get her second hit of the day as she goes inside out to slice it into left field for a base hit.
The last time she hit it there, she legged out a double, and this time left fielder Elrod made no mistake. She fired it in right away. Even though there was no way she was going to turn that to go to second, she threw a seed to second to make sure it got there on the money.
Rachel Roop, she was hit by a pitch her last time up, singled in the first. The 1-0, a called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. So even with the 2 outs, a nice job of hitting by Woodard to keep it alive and have a base runner on for Roop. Liberty would love to be able to get something going here in the 5th inning, trailing 5-0. Here's the pitch. Popped up behind home plate, and it's going to get into the crowd.
That almost take creative photographer Cassidy Paxton sitting at the press row table in the front row.
It's funny how terms change over the years.
If I were a photographer, you would not call me creative.
The 1-2 just missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Term for me as a photographer would be amateur.
Creative services.
Yep.
It's kind of, I don't know if I like that term. The 2-2. Strike 3 called. Same spot. One situation it was a ball, and the second situation it was a strike. Pretty inconsistent zone, but it's gone both ways. The Flames strand a runner is Roop. What happens very rarely, she strikes out. As a matter of fact, on the season, she's only struck out 16 times in the span of 165 at bats, 66 at bats. So nothing across for the Flames as we head now to the 6th inning. Liberty trailing 5-0 here in the winner's bracket of the Conference USA Tournament. The winner moves on to tomorrow. The loser will have to play a second game today to try to move on to tomorrow. We'll see if Liberty can get anything going here in their final 6 outs. Well, they got to get some outs themselves as we head now to the top of the 6th here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Play ball! The Conference USA Baseball Championship is coming to Lynchburg. Be there as 8 teams battle for the conference crown in a double elimination tournament, with the winner getting an automatic bid to an NCAA regional, hosted by Liberty University's Worthington Field at Liberty Baseball Stadium, May 21st through the 25th. All session passes are on sale now. See every game for just $98. Youth passes are $35. Single session passes are also available. Get yours now at libertyflames.com/CUSA Baseball. You're listening to Lady Flames Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Now for a look at the out-of-town scoreboard built by Frank Good Builders.
Well, here in Bowling Green, the Flames are trailing 5-0 as we go now to the top of the 6th inning. As far as some other scores around the country, Florida State beat Duke earlier today in the ACC. Virginia Tech is up on Clemson 5-2 in the 6th. The first pitch to Phillips is grounded to Byram, and she's not able to get it out of her glove cleanly. She was going to have to get the throw over in a hurry.
I believe that's going to be a hit. I called a similar play a hit the other day against FIU. It would have been a tough throw, but play she could have made.
Well, Phillips has check now out of the game. She's going to have a pinch runner for her. Ella Pate, the pinch runner.
Pate was actually the player who initiated the baptism.
First pitch to Cushingberry is fouled off. If you're just tuning in, that was a conversation from an inning ago. It's a nice interaction between just about every team at the tournament eventually was involved. And
it started in the elevator with Pate and Coach Dot.
The 0-1, throw down to first, and it gets into right field, but Roop did a good job of backing it up. So what happened there? The bunt was pulled back, taken, and the count is 1-1. Flames tried to throw behind and get to Pate.
The first base umpire called obstruction, so if somehow Liberty would have gotten her out, she still would have been safe. Roberts was blocking the covering.
Pitch is bunted, and it hit off of the
That's
foot
gonna be an out.
of Cushingberry. She is out. The play
Yep.
is dead. The
Dead
runner
ball.
goes to third. She's going to have to come back. Cushingberry was in.
That hit her. Yeah.
Cushingberry was definitely out of the box
Definitely
when
out of
it
the
hit
box.
her, but the umpire, at least at this moment, is saying just a foul ball.
No.
I'm not sure if that is
I believe
challengeable or
that
not.
should be.
Coach Scott Richardson is going to come out and have a conversation. Unless they're saying it hit the bat twice,
And
in the box,
okay.
and then hit her foot down the line. That's the only possibility, because it did take a weird deflection.
I see what you're saying.
It may have hit her bat twice while she was still standing in the box, and then hit her foot as she was running down the baseline.
So it was dead before that kick. They ruled Phillips reached on an error by Byram.
Okay.
That's official ruling.
The 1-2 sent out into left field for a base hit, and it gets past Dorr. Madry picks it up, throws towards third. Pate will get to third safely. Runners would be at second and third with no outs.
Dorr almost looked like she was coming up to try to throw the runner out at second. That's kind of a shallow one hop on her, and she overran it. They said the advancement was on error by Dorr. So single, advance both runners on an error. Looks like we might get a pitching change.
Flames are going to make a move. They trail 5-0, and Jack State has an opportunity to add some more insurance to that, with runners at second and third.
Tanner Allen.
No outs.
Sorry.
Tanner Allen, as Joe said, will check into the game for the Flames, and while Joe looks up her numbers, give me a chance to say a couple of hellos. We got quite a few people watching in today, and the Flames fans, I'm sure, not happy with the way it's going. Still time to turn it around, but Liberty's going to have to get out of a little bit of a jam here. I want to say hello to Patricia out in Suffolk, Virginia, listening in. Clarence is in North Florida. Sherry's in Pennsylvania. Wanda in Florida. Melanie in Lexington, Virginia. Bill's in Fairfield, New Jersey. I don't know if I know where Fairfield, New Jersey is. I'm going to assume probably not near the city. Ted's in Columbus, Ohio. Courtney's in Roanoke. Wendy listening in Lynchburg. Jason's in Northern Virginia. Jim's in Ohio. Says hi, Jamie and Joe from Jim and Wanda.
Hi, Dad, Mom.
And Bruce is listening in Florida. Julie in Dallas. And Patricia says, let's go Flames. The Flames need to get out of a little bit of a mess. You mentioned the new pitcher. Tanner Allen, her first pitch is taken for a ball to Emma Elrod. Swing and a miss, the count evens. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tanner Allen, the lefty.
Lefty 2-1 with a 1.85 ERA in 22 2/3 innings. Her last appearance was actually a start at Jacksonville State, March 23rd.
The 1-1, high and tight. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners at second and third, and no outs. Jack State already leading 5-0. Here's the pitch. Popped up foul. Root not going to be able to get to it. It goes into the Flames bullpen. Flames infield is in with the runner at third. Sun pops back out. Here's the pitch to Elrod. Pop foul and out of play.
I got it.
Joe, that wasn't anywhere near you.
No.
Playing up to the crowd, Joe. Now the 2-2. Foul back. Pate's at third. Cushingberry is at second. Here is the pitch to Elrod. 2-2. Misses inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Danner Allen's one of 5 Lady Flames this season with a shutout. Had a 1-hit shutout against Hofstra on February 23rd. Lady Flames are the only D1 team with 5 different pitchers with at least one weekly shutout this season.
3-2. Slapped foul. Down the right field line. We'll try again.
That's hard to do, to have 5 different pitchers with that kind of stuff, to have at least one shutout each, and 6 of those have been Escobar.
Yeah, times certainly have changed. If you go back 10, 20 years, and there might only be one pitcher on a staff that is going to get about 90% of the pitches in a season, as that's fouled off. See that in the Monica Abbott days, the Jenny Finch days.
Cat Osterman. Tincher at Virginia Tech. Jackie Traina a little more recently with Alabama, but still like 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yet another 3-2 from Allen is on the way. Popped up on the infield. Byram calls everyone off and makes the catch just in front of second base for the first out. So 1 out to Morgan Nowakowski.
That was a great battle there, and Elrod had just hit a home run in her previous at-bat, so to get a pop out is big for Allen.
Allen's first delivery to Nowakowski is out of the zone. Nowakowski 0 for 3 on the day. (1-0). Foul back to the screen. Flames still have 2 innings to work with, but they're going to need to keep the score where it is, 5-0. You just feel like, especially now, 3 times through the lineup, that the bats are going to come alive. The 1-1 just missed. Flames fans didn't like it. Two 2-1 squares the bunt. The run comes home. The throw's going to be to first. Squeeze works, and JAX State adds to their lead. There'll be a runner at third and 1 out, but the lead is extended to 6-0. 2 outs. 2 outs in the inning. Scoreboard is a little slow. Could have described me that way at around 9 o'clock this morning. First pitch to Amber Reed is taken for a strike. Oh, it's popped up in foul territory. Roberts comes over to try to make a catch into her own dugout, but runs out of space. It's now 0-2. The 0-2 from Allen, high and outside, tried to get her to chase. She doesn't. Fastball misses, and count goes to 1-2. Here's the pitch. Same spot. 2 balls and 2 strikes. One run in, a runner at third, 2 outs. Now the 2-2. Just missed inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And Reed had a homer first at bat. Flames dugout is not having the strike zone right now.
Three-two pitch from Allen. Ground ball foul. Scooped up by Roberts. A couple feet to the right of the bag. We'll try again.
You see Roberts and Crane make a lot of those plays in foul territory. They get very quick reflexes.
3-2, same spot. Maybe a few more feet in foul territory. Roberts makes the play.
on cue.
Yeah, exactly. That was in front of Haley Sims, the first base coach for JAX State. Another 3-2 from Allen. Another foul ball from Reed. Gets the sign, looks at her wrist, and now here's the pitch. Sent out into center field. Madry runs in, not going to get to it. It falls in front of her right on top of the CUSA logo. Another run scores for JAX State. They're up 7-0. And that will close the book on Paige Bachman. Both of these runs are hers. Runner at first with 2 outs, and a 7-0 lead for JAX State. Allen's pitch to Martin is taken for a strike. Martin 0 for 3. Lined out in the first, struck out in the second.
Both runs are unearned this inning due to Byram's error.
The 0-1, foul back. 0-2. So Martin faced Yoder once, faced Bachman twice, and this is her first at bat against Allen. She's behind in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch, bounces up. Jesse keeps it in front of her. The good news for the Flames is, well, they can't make the comeback here. They'll play a game later today, and that game would win them into the championship round tomorrow, and it's winner take all. The 1-2 fouled back and over our heads. Out to the street. I don't know what the name of that street is. I feel like I should.
Creason Street.
Creason Street.
Took us a while to turn on to Creason Street this morning. The commencement, or
1-2 call, actually a swing and a miss, strike 3. But yeah, it's the graduation week here at WKU. They had their ceremony last night. Different degree presentations today, and it's still a hopping campus. I imagine, though, by tomorrow it's probably going to thin out, as is the case in Lynchburg as well. Liberty's commencement is tonight. Governor Youngkin will be the keynote speaker. There'll be some more degree presentations tomorrow, and then it's going to turn into a ghost town after that as summer hits. Flames are down 7-0 as we head now to the bottom of the 6th inning here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
The Liberty Flames thank Segra for their support. Segra collaborates with companies to offer business-only, carrier-grade connectivity, cybersecurity, voice and cloud solutions tailored to meet their diverse needs. Segra offers these solutions across a fiber network that spans 28 states in the U.S. and is headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. They can be reached at Segra.com or 833-GO-SEGRA. Segra, a proud partner of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Flames Nation, this is Liberty softball head coach and proud Flames Club member, Dot Richardson. I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me in supporting Liberty Athletics' mission to train champions for Christ on and off the field. Your support directly impacts our student athletes and is a valuable part of our team. Membership starts at just $75 and comes with great benefits like access to premium seating, hospitality, and parking privileges. Join today. Visit libertyflamesclub.org.
Get the latest on your favorite Flames team with the Liberty Flames podcast. Just search Liberty Flames wherever you get your podcasts or go to libertyflames.com. This is Lady Flame Softball from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames Sports Network.
Underway here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The first pitch to Bryn McManus is taken for a ball. Flames trailing 7-0 against the number 3 seed, JAX State. McManus fouls this out of play.
Watch out, Bob. Took a short hop and hit him in the hand in the bullpen.
Bob Pinto.
With that nice new hat.
Yeah, he's got a big, what do you call that, Joe? A Crocodile Dundee hat?
Oh.
We're going to call it a Crocodile Dundee hat as Bryn McManus sends this out towards the right center field gap. It's played by Nowakowski, holds McManus to a single, but the Flames get a runner on in the bottom of the 6th inning. Trying to get something going offensively today. They've had runners at first and second a couple of times, but in both of those situations, a good play by Ashley Phillips at second ended the threat. Brooke Roberts, Flames first baseman, takes the first pitch for a ball.
And in case you were wondering, the Flames have 17 come from behind wins this year, including 6 in the 6th inning, when trailing in the 6th inning or later.
This would be a big one. Trailing 7-0. Fouled off.
And
I'm sorry, Joe. We saw last year Liberty lost the first game of the CUSA tournament out at New Mexico State, trailed in the second game, and was able to not only battle back to win that game, but also win the tournament. Different scenario here is the 1-1 is taken for a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. The Flames won yesterday to get to this point, and they only need 1 win today to get to the championship tomorrow.
Correct, yep.
It's a winner-take-all title game. 2-1. Called strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that is because of TV, basically, that it's a winner-take-all game. It'll be on CBS Sports Network. It's really unfair to whoever wins this game to go in undefeated tomorrow, but only need to be beaten once to get knocked out and lose.
We saw that last year.
The 2-2s fouled off. Yeah, the Flames took advantage of that last year, getting to the championship game and winning. Under a normal scenario, anything in a NCAA regional, for example, where you'd have to be beaten twice to be eliminated, that didn't happen last year. The Flames were on the good side of it, and if they can't win this game today, they might be able to get themselves back in that same spot again. The 2-2 bounces up. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And thanks to Chris at North Texas, I know that Auburn has the most comeback wins at 20, followed by Grand Canyon 19, North Texas 18, then Alabama and Liberty 17 each.
3-2 popped up. Left field, high in the air. Elrod fights off the sun and makes the catch. One out now with the runner still at first. KK Madry 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded out to second base for one of those two nice plays that I was talking about that actually saved a run. She's going to bunt, pops it out in front of first. There is nobody covering first in time. The throw gets into right field. KK was going to beat it out anyway. McManus gets to third. Good job by Cushingberry, the right fielder, to get to that ball and actually kept Madry at first. So they'll be on the corners with one out and Paige Dorr. So I gotta think that has to be a bunt single.
Yeah, there wasn't anyone at the base, so it'd probably just be advance to third on the throwing, getting away. I don't think Bryn was gonna get to third without that. Single to catcher, bunt, advance to second, advance to third on a throwing error by catcher. Reading the stat broadcast verbatim.
Yeah, you might want to humanize that a little bit, Joe.
So KK gets a single, gets a bunt single. Bryn gets the third on the throwing error by the catcher.
So E2.
T on the notation for a throwing error.
Paige Dorr, the hitter for Liberty, has runners at first and second and one out. She squares, pulls back, the runner goes. And Madry doesn't even have to slide as the shortstop Davis cut in front to make sure that McManus didn't run home, but the Flames not going to take any chances in this spot. Just able to get a runner in scoring position and take off any potential double play, force out. Count is 0-1 to Dorr. That was called a strike on the bunt attempt that she pulled back on. It wasn't an attempt. The 0-1 is a ball, one strike. Dorr was hit by a pitch back in the fourth inning, was then doubled off on a line drive by Crane to finish the inning. She's 0 for 1 on the day. Fouls this pitch back, and the count goes to 1-2.
That was one of those outside pitches that she threw 4 straight to Henault, I believe it was.
Dorr, 349 on the season, 2 home runs. Takes this pitch for a ball, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Flames trailing 7-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Kat Carter still in the circle for the Gamecocks. Here's the pitch, fouled off. Down in front of the Flames dugout. Rolls all the way into the corner. Blue skies and puffy clouds. Sun's behind one of those clouds at the moment, but still a bright day. As the 2-2 pitch is taken for a ball.
A little low, I believe.
Jacksonville State was wanting that. Dorr takes a walk back towards their dugout, now digs back in the left-handed batter's box and awaits the 3-2. Fouled up and out of play. We'll try again. Just into the crowd. Off of the railing. Looks like everybody's okay. McManus at third. Madry's at second. Payoff pitch to Dorr. Hit hard towards the right center field gap. It's going to fall in. McManus scores. Madry's around third. She scores. Dorr slides into second with a 2 RBI double. And the Flames get on the scoreboard. They make it a 7-2 game here in the 6th. Maybe the beginning of that comeback Joe was talking about.
That's right.
Rachel Crane will hit. Tries to check her swing, but she went around. Falls behind 0-1. Crane is 0 for 2 on the day. And again, the third time through the lineup, everybody's now seeing Kat Carter 3 times. Taken for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That pitch has been called a strike at times today.
Has been a little bit of an inconsistent zone. We've seen barking from both dugouts because of that. The 1-1, another check swing, but it was called a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Crane. Crane hitting .254 on the year. Paige Dorr at second base. Our 2 RBI double got the Flames on the board. They trail 7-2. Here's the pitch, high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carter takes a walk around the back of the circle. Grabs a little dirt. Wipes it off and now is ready to throw a 2-2. Just got a piece of it, did Crane, to stay alive.
Got a piece of the catcher too on the foul tip, so the home plate umpire is going to give her a little time to shake it off.
McKaylin Kaiser is the catcher. Home plate umpire Aaron Golden. Steve Winters at first, Jose Travis at third. The 3-2 pitch coming to Crane. Carter fires it in and it's fouled off again. Out onto Creason Street.
And it got safely across. It looked both ways.
Some houses just off the road, which is right behind the ballpark. I'm sure they've probably found a couple of softballs in their yards over the years. Another 3-2 outside. The scoreboard must have been off.
Must have been.
The board said 3-2. That was definitely a ball, but Crane stays put. And now we're at 3-2.
Everybody outside the scoreboard operator knew it was 2-2 apparently, at least on the field.
And Crane didn't make any sort of movement. So now the 3-2. Popped foul and out of play down the first baseline. Pretty good battle between Crane and Carter. Carter now up to 100 pitches for the game. Here's the 3-2, popped up into left field. It's going to hang for Elrod. She makes the catch for the second out. Savannah Jesse comes to the plate. 0 for 2, struck out her last time up. Still with the runner in scoring position, but it's going to take a 2-out hit. Liberty trailing 7-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch is in on her hands. She takes a ball.
Jesse had a RBI double yesterday and then had a home run robbed by Louisiana Tech left fielder.
I think there might have been a little bit of a cross up here as
the pitch comp system. Looks like the catchers went out and then she switched it with the shortstop Davis.
So they've got the wrist, basically almost like a smartwatch on their wrist. It tells them what pitch. get that sorted out. The 1-0 to Jesse, taken for a strike.
And I asked our coaches about that, and apparently it just has pitches. Like you can't send a text message like, what was that?
Critiques you mean?
Right, yeah, correct.
The 1-1. Nubbed back to the circle. Easy play for Carter. She throws over to first to get the final out. Flames do get a couple runs across. A couple singles and a double. 2 RBIs for Paige Dorr. Liberty cuts into the lead, but they still trail 7-2 as we head to the 7th inning here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
You're listening to Liberty Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Time now to check the Carter Bank box score.
Not the way the Flames were hoping today's game would go. They're trailing 7-2 as we start the 7th inning. 7 runs on 8 hits and 1 error for JAX State. The Flames 2 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors. Kaylin Yoder got the start for Liberty. Paige Bachman came in relief, and now Danner Allen is in the circle. Kat Carter is pitched throughout for JAX State. They got 3 runs in the 3rd. 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, added 2 in the 6th. The Flames got their first 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning to make it 7-2. Winner of this game will go on to play tomorrow in the championship. Winner take all game at noon local, 1 o'clock Eastern. The loser of this game will fall into the losers bracket and will play the winner of WKU and La Tech. They will play approximately 30 minutes after the conclusion of our game. Allen's first pitch to Kaiser is taken for a ball. The estimated start time for the final game of the day is 5 p.m. local, which would be 6 p.m. Eastern. The Flames can't make the comeback. That's when they would play next, again, against either WKU or La Tech.
Which at this point, it's a 2:15 local, so the next game is supposed to start at 2:30, so it's likely going to be after those projected start times.
Yeah, everything seems like it's going to be pushed back. 2-0, unless it's just a really quick second game. That's a ball low, 3 balls and no strikes. The wind is really whipping in from the outfield. We're going to have a chat in the circle. Coach Casey Fagan-Graham will talk with Allen. When the wind's not blowing, it's quite pleasant. I'm sure actually we're in the shade.
Yep.
Those that are in the sun would be maybe even, you'd say, warm. But when the sun goes behind the clouds with that wind whipping in, it's kind of cool. We're elevated, so the wind's probably catching us maybe a little bit more than it is everybody else. Broadcasting on top of the press box next to the ESPN camera. High home.
The sky behind us looks wonderful on the.
It does. Big puffy white clouds with blue sky. Not quite as pretty out in center field. It's more gray tones to the clouds. No real chance of rain, though. Conversation's over, and Allen throws a 4-pitch walk to Kaiser.
I almost feel like I'm photobombing a nice painting.
Well, I think the thing that would give away the fact that it's not a landscape is all the power lines Tell you, power lines ruin a lot of pretty scenes, don't they?
Yeah.
J.C. Underwood now to bat. We got a pinch runner. Buffington. As Underwood squares the bunt, pulls back and takes a ball. Hannah Buffington, the senior, now stands at first. The 1-0. Underwood swings away and misses. Underwood 288 on the year, 5 home runs, 28 RBI, squares the bunt again and fouls it back to the screen. 1-2.
And as I mentioned earlier, Dana Allen's last appearance was March 23rd at Jacksonville State. Started the third game of the series, 3 1/3 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, and 3 strikeouts.
This pitch is a ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So it's been a while. Figure going on 6 weeks since she last pitched. Two, fouled off. So runner at first, no outs, a 2-2 count to Underwood. Jax State with the lead, 7-2 in the top of the 7th. Trying to add to that. We've certainly seen the Flames put 5 runs up in an inning, so if they get a hold here as another foul ball goes back to the netting. Even yesterday, 5 runs in the first inning. It's not impossible, but you definitely can't give up any more. You would love to stay right where it is, give your bats a chance. Do something special in the bottom of the 7th. This pitch is swung on and missed. Second strikeout for Allen. It is the first out of the top of the 7th. Aria Davis, she struck out her last time up. Is 0 for 2. Drew a walk back in the 2nd inning. First pitch to her is just outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Allen's living out there. A lot of outside pitches. Either outside corner, outer half, or balls outside.
The 1-0, a little low and outside as well. 2-0.
Also facing a lot of right-handed batters, so working away. It's a little harder to come inside as a lefty to a righty.
2-0, swung on and missed. 2 balls and 1 strike. Davis, 227 on the season. 3 home runs, 26 RBIs. Freshman. 2-1, taken for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Jesse tried to frame it, but it was outside and probably a little high as well. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Davis. Runner at first is Buffington. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back swinging Ks for Allen. She's now got 3 in the game and only 2 innings pitched. Not even yet, 2 innings pitched.
Those last 2 swing and misses could have been ball 4. They're outside.
This pitch to Ashley Phillips is outside.
But again, as we talked about this umpire, he's been given that outside strike, so you kind of expand the zone, especially on a 2-strike count.
Phillips is 0 for 3. She did reach on an error. Slices this out into center field and actually has some pretty good carry to it as it makes it to the track. But KK Madry is able to get there for the final out of the inning. And even with the wind kind of blowing in, more in from right to the third base line, but still, we've seen the ball carry pretty good even with this wind blowing in today. No damage in the top of the 7th. The Flames still trailing 7-2. They've got 3 outs to try to make a difference as we continue on here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Stay informed and entertained with the Liberty Flames podcast, presented by Sentry Exteriors. Get the latest news and hear from the players and coaches from your favorite Flames teams.
First of all, it's a privilege just to have a chance to be in the NCAA tournament.
I expect us to play our best football going forward. I really believe that.
Catch the latest coaches shows, the NASCAR podcast, double coverage, the Liberty Flames Clubhouse Report, and more. It's all on the Liberty Flames podcast channel. Listen on the Liberty Flames mobile app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Alan York, asking you to join the team as a member of the Flames Club. As a Flames Club member, you can make a difference by directly contributing to the success of Liberty Athletics. The Flames Club's mission is to raise the financial support needed to provide our coaches and student athletes with the resources to compete for championships. Membership levels vary and begin at just $75. Some gifts may even be tax deductible. When you join the Flames Club, you're truly investing in champions and championships. Join today at libertyflamesclub.org.
Follow the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner on social media and keep up with all your favorite teams. Search LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Now back to more Lady Flame softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Flames are down to their final 3 outs. They trail 7-2 against JAX State. Jemiah Byram, the hitter, takes the first pitch for a strike. She was pinch hit for her last time up. Turns on this, hits it a ton, but foul on top of the, I guess it's not a dugout, but the bench area for the soccer team. Unlike some teams that just have a portable bench with an overhang, this is actually a built-in brick house. Bounces up, the count 1-2 to Byram. If Byram could get something going, it would head to the top of the lineup with Woodard, Roop, and McManus ahead. The 1-2 looped out into center field. It's going to hang up, and now Wachowski makes the catch for the first out. Savannah Woodard, she is 2 for 3 on the day. Really could have easily been 3 for 3, her first at bat. She hit it hard off of the leg of Carter, but it went right to Davis at short, who threw out Woodard. Pops this up on the infield. It's going to go into foul territory, and a nice catch by Underwood over her head to make the play for the second out. Now, I know you never want to lose a game, but if the Flames were to lose this game, they're still only 1 win away from making it to the championship tomorrow, and it is a winner take all. So you wouldn't have to play a doubleheader to win the title in this league format. Rachel Roop takes a look at the first pitch for a ball.
So you're saying both teams are at this second are the same amount in this game, are the same amount of wins away from the championship in this game. So
I might have to get you to say that again.
So they win this game, we win. So both teams need to win 2 games, just 2 games from this point on, to win the championship.
Yes.
It's not like you said. Liberty wouldn't, in a traditional tournament, Liberty would have to win 3 from this point if they were to lose.
See, I'm not sure if you're assuming a loss or what.
Right,
I'm not sure where you're going.
No, I was just saying both teams are in a position where they only need 2 more wins to win the championship.
Correct. Root takes a strike. The count's 2 balls and 1 strike. Coming into today, either of these two teams just needed to win 1 game today to get to a title game where they would just need to win once tomorrow.
Right.
Of course, you want to win the first one. That way you get a little more rest as Root laces it, but right to the center fielder, Nowakowski, who makes the catch on the run to end the ball game. Root hit it hard, but it is the final out. And the Flames fall to JAX State by a score of 7-2. Liberty will have to regroup. They'll watch WKU and La Tech play next. And then the Lady Flames will play the winner of that game in the final matchup of the evening for a chance to make it back to the title game tomorrow. So yeah, even though you just have to win 1 game today to make it to the championship tomorrow, it could have been this one. It wasn't for Liberty. It could be the next game. That'd be fine. That would get them to the championship. The major difference is now you're talking about a later night tonight. You're probably not going to get out of here until 8 o'clock. I mean, as it sits right now, it's scheduled to be a 5 o'clock start time. I'm not sure that that's going to happen. We're probably looking more around a 5:30, maybe even as late as 6 o'clock game for the Flames. It just is the amount of rest. JAX State at this point, they don't play again until noon tomorrow. So they've got 22 hours before they play again. The Flames have a couple of hours before they play again, and then they would have to play the championship game at noon tomorrow. So it's a tough road, made a little more difficult now by this loss, but the Flames have certainly been in this situation before. Last year, they lost the first game of the Conference USA tournament and was able to battle their way out of that bracket. And a hole in the second game. They were trailing in the second game. They had to come from behind to just stay alive. They eventually got to the title and walked it off and won in their first year in the league. I don't know that you have any preference, WKU or La Tech, the 2 teams that are playing next. I think now it's just a point of Liberty trying to get their affairs in order. Teams huddle up for a prayer. Prayer is over, and Liberty will now head towards the first base dugout, gather up their gear, probably go grab some food, find out who they play, and then lace them back up here in a few hours. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, the Coca-Cola post-game show. We will not have Coach Dot Richardson just because of the timing. The team's going to try to get back to the hotel and get as much, I'd say rest, that's probably not the right word. They're going to try to relax, I guess, a little bit in between these games, get some food, and then come back and warm up and play again a little bit later on tonight. But we'll finish up the broadcast after this timeout here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Move those coffee chains, Flames fans, and go local. Central Virginia's own Ironclad Coffee Roasters and Baking Company is the premier coffee partner of Liberty Athletics. Pay them a visit at one of their cafes in the Richmond area or at the Richmond International Airport. They'll also ship their specialty grade coffee straight to your door. Visit ironcladcoffee.com, that's www.ironcladcoffee.com, to check out the coffee Flames fans are talking about.
Score big at Haley's Appliance and Haley's Outdoor in Lynchburg with major brands of appliances that will make your house feel like a home and outdoor equipment to have your yard looking its best. Haley's puts customer service first. They deliver and service all of the products they sell and will take care of the process from start to finish. Log on to Haley's.com today for product availability. Haley's Appliance and Haley's Outdoor in Lynchburg is a proud sponsor for Liberty Flames Athletics.
The Liberty Flames thank Segra for their support. Segra collaborates with companies to offer business-only, carrier-grade connectivity, cybersecurity, voice and cloud solutions tailored to meet their diverse needs. Segra offers these solutions across a fiber network that spans 28 states in the U.S. and is headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. They can be reached at Segra.com or 833-GO-SEGRA. Segra, a proud partner of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit us at centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram.
Been listening to Lady Flame Softball from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames Sports Network. It's time now for the Coca-Cola postgame show, brought to you by Coca-Cola Consolidated. Coke, taste the feeling. Coming up, we'll hear from Lady Flames head coach Don Richardson. We'll bring you today's player of the game, final stats, and postgame analysis, all right here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Welcome back out to the ballpark. Lady Flames lose to JAX State a 7-2, and now fall into the losers bracket where they'll play either WKU or La Tech later today. WKU and La Tech will actually play here in about 30 minutes. See the Bulldogs making their way into the third base dugout. WKU doing the same. Into their home dugout as the higher seed. They're the number 2 seed, La Tech the 4. Flames are the 1, but they fell to JAX State, and JAX State as the 3 seed now moves into the championship game unscathed, but that really doesn't matter with the way this tournament is run. JAX State will not have to be defeated twice tomorrow, even though they have not lost a game. It is winner take all in the title tilt. Well, when we take a look at the final box score for this game, and it's certainly not a pretty one for the Flames. They really couldn't get anything going offensively early. They had their chances. A couple of runners in scoring position, actually, I should say runners at first and second on 2 different occasions early in the game. But some nice defensive plays by Ashley Phillips at second base ended any sort of threat for Liberty. Kaylin Yoder got the start for the Flames and took the loss. She's now 9-5 on the year, pitched 2 1/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 3 walks and a strikeout. And that was the difficulty, was just not being able to find the zone. Paige Bachman came in relief. She gave up 5 hits in 2 2/3 innings, 4 runs, 2 of them earned. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Danner Allen pitched 2 innings. Pitched pretty well. Only gave up 1 hit, walked 1, and struck out 3 to finish off the game for Liberty. As far as JAX State, Kat Carter, she picks up the win. She's 12-7 on the year. Complete game, 6-hitter, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts to take the victory. After the first 2 innings were scoreless, in the third, that's when things got going for JAX State. After Martin struck out, Kaiser walked, Underwood singled. Cushingberry also took a walk. A single by Emma Elrod. Actually, you know what? I've turned that around a little bit. Let me try again. Can't read my own scorebook, unfortunately. It was a walk that led off the inning by Cushingberry. And then to the top of the lineup where Elrod got the single, a pop out by Nowakowski, and the 3-run homer by Amber Reed. That was when the pitching change occurred. Bachman came in. So 3 runs in the 3rd inning for Jax State. A solo homer by Emma Elrod in the 4th. Solo homer by McKaylin Kaiser in the 5th. And then also 2 runs added on in the 6th inning for Jax State. That's their 7. Flames were able to get 2 runs in the 6th inning after a single by McManus, a single by Madry, and a 2 RBI double from Paige Dorr, the only runs for the Flames. We'll take one more timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap things up on the broadcast, take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and thank a few of our sponsors as the Flames fall into the loser's bracket after a 7-2 defeat against Jax State. They'll play either WKU or La Tech later on today to try to get into the championship tomorrow, which is a 1 o'clock Eastern start time. From here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. That's tough. Over the course of this week, the number of times I've tried to say Boiling Springs instead of Bowling Green from our old Big South days and Gardner Webb. We'll take a look at how the Big South tournament's doing, as well as the A-Sun. See how our old friends are doing and their softball championships. That after this timeout here on the Liberty Flame Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Are your feet preventing you from living life? Hi, I'm Jonathan Cotton, and you may have heard my good feet story, how I love my arch support so much that I bought the store. Since then, thousands of customers have found relief from foot, knee, and back pain. I love to hear their stories of walking, running, and just enjoying their new life pain-free. Don't let foot, knee, or back pain keep you from living the life you love. Come into the Good Feet store for your free fitting and test walk. Visit goodfeet.com for the location nearest you. We look forward to seeing you soon at the Good Feet store.
Lynchburg Nissan is jumping into March Madness with full court press savings. Right now, save $6,100 off MSRP. Lock in rates as low as 2.39% and get up to 130% of fair KBB value for your trade. And because we believe in driving with confidence, every new Nissan comes with our 1,000,000-mile powertrain warranty. That's peace of mind for the road ahead. Don't miss these slam dunk deals. Visit Lynchburg Nissan today or shop online anytime at lynchburgnissan.com. Home of the 1,000,000-mile warranty.
Flames Nation, this is Liberty softball head coach and proud Flames Club member, Dot Richardson. I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me in supporting Liberty Athletics' mission to train champions for Christ on and off the field. Your support directly impacts our student athletes and is a valuable part of our team. Membership starts at just $75 and comes with great benefits like access to premium seating, hospitality, and parking privileges. Join today. Visit libertyflamesclub.org.
Owned and operated by a Liberty alum, Larry's Tire and Auto Repair offers complete auto service, including tires, preventive maintenance, and more. Larry's Tire carries all major brands and is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Larry's Tire has 2 locations in Lynchburg and at Able Tire in Concord. And coming soon, Larry's Tire will expand to a new service center in Forest. More information on Larry's Tire is available at larrystireservice.com.
The game is over, but we're still talking Flame softball. You're listening to the Coca-Cola postgame show on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Tough loss for Liberty. They lose to Jax State 7-2, and will now have to play later on tonight against either WKU or La Tech. As I bring in Joe Carmany to wrap things up here. Joe, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard by Frank Good Builders here in just a second. But Joe, when we were coming into this game, we were talking about the Alcova Mortgage keys to the game, and I think one of those keys was going to be for Kaylin Yoder to throw strikes, and unfortunately she wasn't able to find the zone as well as she would have liked, and it kind of got things off on a little bit of a negative note. But even then, able to get through the first 2 innings with no score, and then some blasts against the wind here at WKU softball complex. We've seen home run after home run all weekend long, but just could not find the zone enough throughout the course of this game. And you could probably say the same thing about Bachman a little bit as well.
Yeah, that was the key there, and also, they had to bring the ball back into the zone after 3 walks for Yoder and just two and a third. Got 55 pitches, 54 pitches for Bachman, 49 for Allen, 5 walks as a team, and most of those, I believe, or several of those probably came around to score. Just extending innings, giving up home runs, and then not being able to cash in some of those early run-scoring opportunities, like you said, first and second, a couple times. Some really good defensive plays there by JAX State. So hats off to JAX State. Hopefully we get to see them again tomorrow.
Flames 1 game away from making it to the championship tomorrow, and then it would be winner take all. So really, you came into today's game knowing you just needed to win 1 of 2 today to get into the exact same situation tomorrow, winner take all championship. You'd have rather won the first game because you get more rest. But when it comes down to it, if you win the second game today, the final game of the day here at the stadium, you're in no worse shape than JAX State is, having gotten there undefeated. And I don't necessarily agree with the way that works out, but it has benefited the Flames last year, and it has a chance to benefit them again today if they can win the final game of the night and get to that spot. We want to thank Joe Yock at Alcova Mortgage for his sponsorship of the game. Let Joe and his staff help deliver the keys to your next home. Find out more at alcova.com/liberty. Also Coca-Cola, which sponsors our post-game show. We want to thank them as well. Coke, taste the feeling. And then one final sponsor that we didn't get to, although there was a stolen base in the game, I just missed it, is the Good Feet Store. You got to have good feet to steal a base. The Good Feet Store can help your feet feel their best. Find the store nearest you at goodfeet.com. Liberty Baseball going to be playing down at FIU today. Nick Pierce is in South Beach for the call of the game. You can listen to that on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames app, libertyflames.com. He'll also be on Facebook and YouTube. Conference USA Baseball Championships are coming to Lynchburg, hosted by Liberty University's Worthington Field at Liberty Baseball Stadium, May 21st to the 25th. You can see up to 15 games. All session passes are on sale now. Get yours at libertyflames.com/CUSA Baseball. Talking about the out-of-town scoreboard, let's go ahead and get a couple of games for you. We mentioned earlier that most of the games around the Power Four are later today. There are 2 finals from the ACC.
What a wild ACC second game there.
Florida State beat Duke 3-2, and the game Joe is alluding to is Clemson 10-9 over Virginia Tech. So Clemson moves on, Florida State as well. The Big 12, Arizona State and Texas Tech will play shortly, in about 15 minutes. Iowa State and Arizona. In the Big 10, UCLA and Nebraska, Purdue and Michigan later on.
Purdue with a big win over Ohio State last night.
In the SEC, Oklahoma and Arkansas will match up again, coming up shortly. And the late game, Texas A&M and Texas. So that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you look at those rankings: 2 against 3, 1 against 5, and that's not seeds, that's national rankings.
Yeah, it's kind of like you could say the same thing on the ACC baseball side. Is there just so many top 10, top 25 teams in the conference that you can sometimes confuse what their seeds are with their national rankings. In the A-Sun, we've got a final from earlier. Eastern Kentucky beat North Florida. And later on, Stetson and Austin Peay will play. These games are being played in Oxford, Alabama. And then finally, let's See what's happening over in the Big South. Final from earlier today, USC Upstate beats Winthrop. And right now Radford is up on Longwood 2-0 in the bottom of the third.
So some interest in that Radford game from our Liberty coaching staff. Kevin Fagan, first-year head coach, father of Sammy Fagan Harmon, Casey Fagan Graham, and Haley Sampson.
And a former volunteer assistant?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're looking out on the field, and WKU and La Tech are warming up. They're put the lines down. They're throwing a little water on top of the surface, and they'll be ready to play here, I would guess, in the next 20 minutes, if not sooner. Liberty will play the winner of this game in the nightcap. And again, that is scheduled for 5 o'clock local. We don't think there's any chance that that's going to happen. It's probably going to be closer to 6 o'clock local, which would be 7 o'clock Eastern. We'll keep you updated as far as when our broadcast will start. It'll be about 15 minutes before first pitch later on tonight. Flames will need to win to move into the championship round tomorrow after the blemish today against JAX State, a 7-2 final score, with the Gamecocks moving into the title tilt, which is at noon local tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern. So if all things go right for the Flames and they win tonight, then they'll be matching up in that winner-take-all title game against Jacksonville tomorrow. But La Tech and WKU certainly will have a lot to say about that, whoever wins today. And you can follow along on the CUSA website or watch on ESPN Plus to see who the Flames will be playing later on. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the broadcast. I want to thank Joe Carmany for his work on color commentary. I want to thank Nick Pierce, Alan York, as far as the network side of things, getting everything we need to go, and Louis James from an engineering standpoint for making sure that we're connected and working, and the folks here at WKU as well. They limited facilities. We're on the roof, but they've done everything they can to make us be as comfortable as possible, including adding some bar stools to the equation so that we have a little bit better sight line, can see over the railing, and had a much better view of today's game. So we want to thank the facilities crew here at WKU as well. One last time, at least for now, the Lady Flames fall to JAX State 7-2. We'll be back in a couple of hours as the Flames try to win their way out of the consolation bracket and get to the title game tomorrow afternoon here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Until then, this is Jamie Hall saying so long and God bless.
Thanks for listening to live coverage of Liberty University softball from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames Sports Network. This broadcast of Liberty softball has been brought to you by Joe Yock with Alcova Mortgage, showing you the way home. By Aqua Pros, pools, hot tubs, and hearth. Carillion Clinic, inspiring better health. By Carter Bank, life lived full. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling. Crossroads Family Dentistry. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By 11 West. First Bank and Trust, the bank that puts you first. Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Frank Good Builders. Freedom First Credit Union, where people bank for good. Gentry Lock Attorneys. The Good Feet Store. By Haley's Appliance and Outdoor. Liberty Softball has also been brought to you by Ironclad Coffee Roasters, the finest hand-picked specialty coffees from around the world. Serving you at Candler Station in Lynchburg. Jason Porter with Legacy Realty and Development. Larry's Tire and Auto Repair. Expect the best service, prices, and care. By Carl Miller Realty. Caring, competent, trusted advisors. The Liberty Bookstore, the official online store of Liberty Athletics. Lynchburg Nissan. Nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Peary Family Dentistry. Century Exteriors, providing roofing, gutters, windows, and home remodeling. Visit them at centuryexteriors.com. By Segra, a proud partner of Liberty University. Segra offers customized business technology solutions. Learn more at segra.com. And by Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. The general manager of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner is Justin Metzger. Network director, Alan York. Coordinating producers, Kyle Sykes and Nick Pierce. I'm staff announcer Jeff Lawrence with a special thanks to Liberty University Athletics Director Ian McCaw, Senior Associate Athletics Director Robert Goodman, and Assistant Strategic Communications Director Joe Carmany. Liberty Flames Softball is an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.